name's Oliver Struggle-Ritter, and I'm an auction specialist specialising in toys and models. This is actually just part of my own collection. I have a fair few thousand myself. That's what happens after 30 years in the trade. But the collection here is predominantly tin plate, clockwork driven and steam driven, and ranges from a 1911 Bing train, which I don't steam up anymore because the seals have gone, but still a very beautiful example, right up to modern scratch-built scale models of various racing cars, 1950s tin plate, fairground rides, Chevys, Jaguar Mark II, some very nice 1920s rolling stock, first class. And then, you know, sort of I have a certain portion for steam driven, so that's a, you know, nice lateral steam engine, which you can then power various bits of equipment which children used to play with. So they used to power up saws and drills by steaming up the main engine there. And it does actually come, comes with its own original box. A lot of the models here are Schuco. Schuco is a tin plate company, German tin plate company that ran from the 30s. During the war, it produced for the Nazis, obviously, and Hitler, but then went back to toys in the 50s and the 60s, and they still produce now some very nice examples. So you sort of have the classic Schuco car. I've got 3 or 4 versions. One is 1930s, one is during the 1948 block by the Russians against Germany, and then I've got 50s and I've got 80s. Lots of number of hand-built models, MG models, hand-built, tin plate aircraft. That's a nice example. That you turn the handle and the wings go up. Motoring related ephemera. So this is sort of mainly tin plate, and this is mainly between 1930 and 1980. And here we have something rather special. This is a Gerald Wingrove model engine. It's of a 2.9 Alfa Romeo 8C engine from their rally and racing class cars, but which also they introduced into their civilian cars as well. But primarily it was a racing specification engine. Gerald Wingrove was unfortunately recently deceased in 2019. Used to scratch build from raw material full-size cars in 1/15 scale, and this is a 1/15 scale engine, which is just the engine on its own. It is signed by Gerald Wingrove and certificated on the side there. So this is one of only 7 examples in the whole world. So this is a really rare example, beautifully done in cast steel with use of aluminium, copper and brass work, and hand painted with some very beautiful wiring running through on top, nice carburetor detailing, engine block detailing, good alternator, a very nice example on a hand chrome stand. So this is rather special. This is in the class of beyond even better than Carlo Brianza. It's in the style of Michele Conti, it's in the style of Hubert Hardtauer. These are high quality models, very, very rare. So here we have a bit of an unusual example. This is HMS Argyle, who is the son, because it's a 1986 version, of the one that fought in the Falklands crisis and beat the Argentinians, or helped beat the Argentinians in 1982. So this HMS Argyle is really controlled. It is hand built. It would have been a kit of sorts, but like a lot of these kits, it was then modified. Needs a little bit of tidying up because it has been used. This is a fully working example. It's radio controlled, does about 15 miles an hour. It has a moving gun, this one here, and it has navigation lights running across, and actually has a Wessex helicopter at the back. A really nice example, fully manned, literally, and ready to use. As well as the toys and models, tin plate, clockwork driven, hand built and scratch built models, we actually have a full-on shop. It's called A Thought on Hampton Hill. In A Thought we do have antiques, vintage, retro and upscaled items ranging from furniture, ceramics and glass, and a very large section of bespoke jewellery which you'll not see anywhere else in the area.